All right, how about this? Welcome back to Tomorrow League Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. Also, guys, if you're not following us on social media, the links to the description is in the social media links are in the description below. My apologies, guys. Can you hear me now? Still can't hear me? Hold on, let me see what's going on with my daggone sound. Check, check, check. Can you hear me? Okay, cool. That's right. So everybody with me? Let's get to it. All right, guys, welcome back. All right, welcome back, everybody. Hi, Miss Mary 305. Montre Bennett, how you doing today, sir? I hope everybody's having a fantastic Sunday thus far. I know there's been a lot of criticism going on thus far about the game last night. There's been a lot of different things that Coach want to go ahead and unpack and get into right now. And like I said, guys, I've been getting text messages all morning long about a lot of different things as far as what we need to do, as far as getting the HBCU presence out there to the masses so that they understand exactly what's going on and understand the product that's being put together. And, you know, to that avail, I have some things myself that I want to kind of touch on. I hope you guys stick around with me long enough so we can get into it and just have a straight up conversation based on what many of you think and feel, because a lot of you have attended these schools that we've been talking about so much for, I know myself, for almost 2 years now. So I definitely want to get, I've been doing YouTube for 2 years. I haven't been talking about SWAC football for 2 years, but it's going on almost a year now. Yeah, it's almost a year now that I've been doing SWAC sports. But I know a lot of you are SWAC, MEAC, CIAA, as well as SIAC babies. And I want to hear from you guys as far as what is it that you guys would love to see Coach bring to the channel for you so that we can continue to keep growing this thing. Because realistically, if we don't build it in the manner in which we need to, guess what? It's going to keep on doing what it's doing right now. And I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want to come out and give you guys a turd show, which you don't really want to be bothered with, and, you know, having you feel some kind of way. That's just not how I rock. So we're going to go ahead and get into a few things here as far as everything that's going on today. And like I said, guys, hey, let's have a conversation. A matter of fact, I'm going to drop the link for you to, if you want to come on the channel and speak your piece. I wanted to share my screen with you guys so you can come on and say what you got to say about any of the different topics that we're talking about today, so that whatever it is that you want to get off your chest, I want you to get off your chest and feel free about doing that. You get what I'm saying? Because like I said, without you guys, there's no me. And we're going to continue to keep building this thing in the manner in which we need to. You feel me? So let's go ahead and jump on in right now. Like I said, welcome back, guys. And I appreciate all of you guys for rocking with me over the past couple of days with the social media follows, as well as the live streams that we've been able to do. So, hey, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. I'm going to start up first with this Bowie State. That should be Bowie State 13-10. Hold on, let me edit that. All right, the CIAA playoffs yesterday, Division II playoffs yesterday. Hey, Bowie State was down in this game early, and they rallied from behind to come win this thing, guys. Like I said, that team over there, they got some dogs on their squad that's willing to get out there and leave it all out there on the line and do whatever it is that they need to do to make sure that they secure the win. They are going into the third round of the playoffs, and I'm looking forward to seeing this Bowie State team run the table. As you see, guys, I touch all of the different conferences, the MEAC, the SIAC, the CIAA, as well as the SWAC. But yeah, like I said, Bowie State with Jerome Johnson over there at the quarterback position. That young man is doing some phenomenal things with their team as a leader. He's a leader of men along with the coaching staff. They're making in-game adjustments for them to get out there and really get after this thing to continue on making sure that they can stay on this run that they've been on thus far. Remember, back in 2019, they ran the table in the CIAA, winning the championship there, got to the first round of the playoffs and fell off. But now they're starting to, you know, they're hitting their stride now where they're really getting after it and making sure that they're able to do the things that they need to do to get things happening out there. So congratulations to Bowie State on their win. But the next one we're going to get into, Prairie View versus Mississippi Valley State. As you guys already know, Prairie View will see Jackson State this week in the SWAC championship. Hold on, guys. Let me clear my throat a little bit. I apologize. Prairie View is going to play Jackson in the SWAC championship this coming weekend. And guys, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. Prairie View in this game against Mississippi Valley State, they could not stop the run game if it was a runaway code at the moment. It just was not going to happen. I don't know if everybody was not engaged as far as what they wanted to do with playing in this game or what. I'm not getting what's going on here as far as everything. But a lot of this stuff, guys, that people had going on. I mean, this was crazy, man. Mississippi Valley State. I told you guys in many of my commentaries before, they are a scrappy team. They're not going to play the radio with you. If you think you're going to come out there and get an easy win against them, you can forget it. They're coming out there to punch you in your mouth and let you know, hey, look, either you're going to go ahead, suck it up, Buttercup, come on and let's fight, or we're just going to keep knocking your behind out until you decide you're going to fold and go on about your business. And in this game, Prairie View lost one of their key offensive components in this game, which number 0 for Prairie View, he's out with a broken ankle. This is the reason why I said during the game, I did a brief live of that game last night. I was saying that Prairie View need to get their player, go ahead, get up in the game, get everything working and clicking, and get the starters out the game. Reason why I say that is because stuff like this happens. I understand he could have got out the bed the next morning and broke or twisted his ankle, and God knows whatever's gonna be. But you know what? I'm just like, listen, man, this is what it is. You're absolutely right, Miss Mary 305. Congratulations, family rattlers. I'm very proud of your season. Win, lose, or draw. You guys went out there and did something that many have not been able to do. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, you guys had not been to the playoffs, the FCS playoffs, that is, 20 years? So congratulations to you for making that run, guys. You did a phenomenal job this season. Like I said, we got to uplift, quit chopping down. At the end of the day, I would say this about FAMU. Hey, Miss Positive Motivation with Bree, how you doing out there? Hope all is well today. Hope everybody having a great day. That's right, great season. Indeed. And Montre Bennett, you said that correctly. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna tap on that right now. Let me go ahead and finish this last thing with Prairie View, and I'm gonna get into the FAMU game right after that. All right. But yeah, like I said, they got an injured player out there now. Now it's a matter of which way do we go with all of this? How in the world do Prairie View recover from this? What's going to be the attitude like with them going into this championship game? And and try to figure it out, put the pieces together and go from there. But like I said, all in all, it was some great football going on yesterday. And again, that one right there kind of hurt because I wanted to see everybody at full strength playing against each other in this championship game. But like I said, one of the key components for Prairie View, number 0, he's going to be out with a broken ankle. But hold on, let me go back here. We're just going to go ahead and dive on into it right now. Let's go. FCS playoffs, FAMU 14 versus Southeastern Louisiana 38, 14-38. Hey, for all my Southeastern Louisiana subscribers, my new family members from over in Southeastern Louisiana, I do apologize. I did mispronounce the name of your university incorrectly. Forgive me for that. Coach was, a little off on that, so forgive me. All right. And like I said, I'm never one that is going to get upset with somebody say, "Hey, coach, that was wrong. Let's look at it from this standpoint and go from there." Criticism comes with the game, and if you can't accept it, it is what it is. But I will say this. I will say this: that game had many different layers. One, I'm gonna start with the biggest layer. The biggest layer was it showed what SWAC schools will need to do when it comes to recruiting to be able to compete at the FCS level. We've heard all season long about folks being afraid to go play in the playoffs. Folks don't want the smoke. The SWAC need to do this. The SWAC need to do that. Guys, let's be real. In order for a team to really be able to get out there and make a true run, you're going to have to make sure that you have the horses in your stable to do exactly what you're looking to do. For instance, I stated that the lineman for Southeastern Louisiana, They're disciplined. They're not like a lot of the linemen that we've seen a lot of the SWAC schools play this season. And I say that, and I say that cautiously because I don't want anybody to get offended when I make this comment. Excuse me. And I understand that sometimes comments that are going to be made, folks are going to be offended, and it's going to be what it's going to be sometimes. But I'm prefacing that before I make the comment. And one thing I'll say is this: SWAC schools have always been, well, not SWAC schools, screw that. I'm not going to go with the SWAC crap. It's all HBCUs across the board. This is where it's at. They've always been able to get the utility players without a doubt. They can come out there. And what I mean by the utility players, I'm talking about your receivers, your running backs, and your quarterbacks, and your DBs, and your safeties. They've always been able to get those guys. And from time to time, they've been able to get linebackers here and there that've been able to play ball. The biggest issue that has always been in HBCU sports, with the exception of some schools that have been able to recruit them because they run heavy, i.e. Southern. Coach Odoms, while he was at Southern, recruited the linemen that they needed because they were a run-heavy program. So if you're running the ball crazy like they do, guess what? You're going to get the linemen that's going to come there that want to play for your program because they know they're going to get the exposure. People are going to be looking at them as far as what's going on. Now, I say all of that to say the defensive front for Southeastern Louisiana, I mean, they just came with it. And a lot of times, the guys out there on the field, they were just getting beat off the ball. I mean, it is what it is. There's no getting around that. There's no cutting. It's just gonna be cut and dry. And I didn't understand for the life of me why in the world was McKay throwing the ball 40 times. But when you look at how quick they got behind, you really couldn't put, you could have put the running game out there and mixed it up a little bit more with a little bit more run as well as pass. But I mean, what more could you expect out of the offense once they got behind as quickly as they did? Now, I did make a statement about them Southeastern Louisiana scoring 46.6 points. They averaged that per game. In a lot of the teams that they played, they were in shootouts with them in those games that they played. I mean, come on, guys. You're looking at them score, like, say, 52 points. Somebody else is scoring 43, 44. I mean, we know they can put up points. Like I said, Cole Kelly, hey, he a cold dude in that pocket if you don't put no pressure on him. If you can't chop that wood down back there in that pocket, he going to stand back there. He going to pick you behind the part all day long. He going to make you eat it. And a lot of what took place out there on the field last night was the fact that people forgot their daggone assignments. They did. They forgot their assignments. So I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, so-and-so, you didn't do this. Hey, so-and-so, you didn't do that. Nah, screw that. It's a team game. At the end of the day, the team did not fulfill what needed to be done to make sure that they were able to get things rolling in the manner in which they need to get them rolling. I mean, it is what it is. Hold on. All right. Montre Bennett said, I watched the game. I know all of this to be true. Like I said up too, we must recruit for the playoffs. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. K. Lofton said the SWAC has to fight for a home game in the playoffs. We're not beating those white teams on the road. Hey, K. Lofton, let me tell you something. We got to recruit first in order for us to be able to go compete. That's been the issue. Matter of fact, I got something right here. I'm gonna do this for y'all guys. I'm gonna let y'all come on and speak your piece. This is what we're gonna do. Hold on. Let me do this right quick. All right. I just dropped the link in the chat. Anybody want to come on right now? I'm gonna let you come on right now. We can talk about it. Go and click that link. I want you to speak your piece about it. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Unless we recruit accordingly, we gotta recruit, guys. We gotta recruit. We got, listen. Another thing also, too. Think about it like this. They didn't have, one thing that I did see was this. Southeastern Louisiana had depth. We don't have that same depth on a lot of these SWAC teams. We don't. You sit in church. Come on, man. You said, come, hey, you ain't sitting in no church. Cut that out. All right, K. Lofton. But yeah, like I said, guys, the crazy thing is we got to recruit. We got to recruit the depth. We got to get the players in there. I got somebody want to come on. Come on in here, positive motivation. Let's go. What you got? Hold on. It's saying you're not connected. Go back out and come back in. Excuse me. D1, I don't understand why they sat those players, but the people that they should have sat, I'm not understanding why were they even in the game. If you're going to sit anybody, you should just went ahead and just played your second string and called it a day. Let's go, brother. What you got going on?
I'm a Rattler for life, and we won this whole season off that run game. Right. We slowed up. I feel like if we would have kept running, we could have did more damage to their defensive line. Yeah, them boys is huge. And we got to recruit huge too. But we got to recruit huge and speed, just like we've been doing. Right. We at the end they showed who they was with them 14 points. Right. I feel like we could have got those points early on in the game if they would have held on to balls. There's a lot of drop balls.
Right.
And that's what gave us our loss. We defeated ourselves.
Let me ask you this question. And I keep hearing a lot of this about the coaching staff. Do you think that they didn't make in-game adjustments, or the adjustments that they made was just too late?
I think it was late. And I feel off those special team touchdowns, well, one of them was a special team touchdown, I feel like maybe we didn't prepare enough.
Okay.
And we put too much on the defense and not enough on the offense. The defense did all they could all season long.
Right.
But to score 30 points, to hold them 38 points, defense still stood up because it could have been a blowout easily.
Right. Right. I agree. All right. You got anything else for us, brother?
Rattler Nation going to show up and show out in 2022.
All right. Let's get to it. Thank you for coming on, brother.
Right.
All right. Positive motivation. Let's go. Hold on. I can't hear you. Hold on. Let me.
What's up, Coach?
What's going on?
Hey, let me say this first of all. Florida A&M had a chance.
Okay.
Watch that game last night.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen, the run got started, but they didn't complete the job.
Right.
And at the end of the day, in order to win a spot in the second round of the FCS playoffs, you got to go start to finish.
Right.
High caliber play all 4 quarters. Another thing is, on top of high caliber play, you have to have the players at each position to be able to complete the assignment as needed.
Right.
And that's just something where I feel like you were saying, recruiting is the key.
Right.
That's the number one thing that you have to be able to do is recruit. I mean, look at Connell Maynard. Look at Connell Maynard, Alabama A&M.
Right.
Connell Maynard walked in with an O-line that wasn't even his. And he came in there and he revamped that O-line and brought it up to where it is now.
Right.
Like I said, recruiting has to be the key. It's all about recruiting. And also non-conference schedule has to come into play too.
Absolutely.
Money games are not where it's at.
Right.
Especially if you want to be in the FCS playoff.
Right.
You can't constantly play money games and expect to win the FCS title. You got to play some of these schools.
Right.
If FAMU had played Southeastern Louisiana earlier in the season, they would have known that offense in and out, that defense in and out. And they would have had a chance to be able to win those games flawlessly. Like I was saying, season with SWAC schools, MEAC schools, all of that. Y'all want a chance? Recruit.
Right.
Also, you gotta play a non-conference schedule that's not just all about the money. I understand your program needs the money.
Right.
But y'all have to play to your strengths as well.
Right.
Y'all have to be able to play week to week tough. The FCS is getting just like the FBS. If you don't play tough, you're just not going to see the end of the road. You
now,
know.
Hold on, not mean to cut you off, but hold on. One of the questions that came in, hold on. Okay, here you go. One of the questions from Leon, he said, if you have no money games, where does the funding come from?
Like I was saying, you have to get out here and you actually have to do like some of these schools do. Look at D2. They fundraise just to go to the FCS playoffs.
Right.
They fundraise just go to the D2 playoffs.
Right.
And, you know, that's one thing that you have to consider. You have to find alternative methods. 1 or 2 money games is fine. But to truly compete for the FCS title, you have to, week in, week out, go at it. You have to, week in, week out, recruit. You can't just look at a 2 or 3-star player or 1-star player and expect for 1-star, a 2-star, 3-star to come in and be able to learn the offense, the defense, and the special teams and be able to go out there and execute. Some can, some can't.
Right.
You know, there comes a time where you really have to sit down and you have to scheme. Also, some of these schools, especially within the MEAC, look at who's left in the MEAC. South Carolina State,
right,
Norfolk State, Morgan State,
right.
Football-wise. South Carolina State, Morgan State,
Delaware State,
Norfolk State, Howard,
right,
and
Morgan. You said Morgan State, right?
Yeah, Morgan State, Howard, and North Carolina Central.
Right.
Football-wise,
right.
Break that down into how much money it actually costs to go from North Carolina to Delaware back cross. You know, look at the back and forth travel expenses. That's something that also needs to be considered because a lot of schools could cut their costs if they actually go out here and compete. Look at what A&T did. A&T said, okay, our travel expenses are this. We right here at, you know, most of the schools within the Big South. We right here at them.
Right.
And they went ahead and cut their travel expenses on top of being able to get premier exposure week to week.
That's right.
Recruiting-wise, they're going to get more exposure recruiting-wise as well. Because a lot more kids are going to look at North Carolina A&T and say, okay, North Carolina A&T did what they had to do in order to be able to get more exposure. And schools are not looking at that. Schools are looking at, oh, well, we want to stick with tradition. We want to stick with history. History and tradition are fine.
Right.
But you have to be able to recruit. You have to be able to save yourself, you know, all of the heartache and all of the pain that you're going to go through trying to stick to tradition. North Carolina A&T is still an HBCU.
Right.
The traditions are still there. But competition-wise, athletically, it's a difference.
Right.
And people always complain about, okay, HBCUs need to do more athletically. Just like it's been said, you know, the Celebration Bowl is fine and dandy. MEAC champ, SWAC champ. That's fine. But let's channel more schools into the FCS playoff system. Let's channel more schools. Let's get more exposure. More kids will look at these schools and get to know these schools.
Right.
And I just feel like at this point, it needs to be exposure for these teams. I mean, the contracts with ESPN, the contracts with NBC, CBS, Fox Sports, that's all fine and dandy. But what about What about the actual recruiting factor, the athleticism, all of that? What about all of that?
Hold on 1 second, Bree. Let me answer this. He said, Leon said, North Carolina A&T plays on ESPN Plus, just like SWAC, and their recruiting class is not top 10 in FCS. Let's stop crapping on the black conference. Okay, let me answer that. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to say we're crapping on the conferences. I guess what's being stated is that look at the financials as far as what's going on. Everybody right now in the MEAC, for you to go to any of the schools that's listed, is like a tank of gas, take a tank of gas away. It's not cost effective. It's not costly for you to go to those different places to go play these teams. Basically, what everybody's trying to get folks to understand is the fact that we gotta do something different outside of the norm. I'm not saying what they're doing now is not enough. That is not what I'm saying right now, because the what is taking place right now, I don't think anybody really thought that was going to happen. This was going to happen as fast as it did. Basically, what we got to do is we got to figure out, hey, what can we do to expand upon what's been put before us? Again, I know folks get tired of hearing the man name, but you got to give Coach Prime credit for shedding a brighter light on HBCU sports in general. Okay, do me one favor, Imperial. Excuse me. Do me one favor. Positive motivation. Hit lower your volume. I think we're getting a feedback. So folks saying they can't hear me clear. Well, let me bring this closer to me. How about now? Can y'all hear me now? Tell me if you can hear me clear now. Let me bring my mic close to me too. All right, check. Let me know if you can hear me now. There's a lot of noise in the background. Okay. How about now? Is there any noise in the background now? Okay, cool. All right. So basically, Leon, where I'm at with this, and I think many of us on the live now are saying the same thing, is that we got to look at it from the standpoint of exactly what are we looking to do. Right now, this has been, I would say, I'm going to call this a Chinese fire drill just for giggles and grins, all right? So I don't want nobody to get offended when I say this. I'm calling it a Chinese fire drill because of the fact that no one expected HBCU sports to take off like this. Nobody expected this. Let's be real. Can we all agree? Everybody out here agree with me? What I'm saying is that, guys, now that we have everything that's going on, we got to put the things in place so that we can build on it. That's what this is about, is building. Again, and I'm going to talk about the Alabama State new hire. I know a lot of folks say, oh, he's a real estate agent. He's this, he's that. God, the man played in the NFL for, 11, 12 years? He played with Steve McNair on the Tennessee Titans. Okay, he was on that Super Bowl team that lost to, I think it was the Rams. Now, let's be real here. When you look at his resume, as far as everything that he's done, he's in the community. He's doing all of the things that we're asking the athletes to do, which is going to the communities, be good stewards, bring something positive back to the communities, and do all of the things that we're asking them to do. So if we're not looking for something of this magnitude from this man to come in here and lead young men, what do you expect? We already knew, listen, a lot of the HBCU schools, they're more so comfortable with hiring those that may have come through the program, that have some coaching experience, that have some type of leadership experience, that are able to do the little things. And then they'll go ahead and build a staff around them. The $1 million question I have as far as with Alabama State, I'm waiting to see what's going to happen staff-wise before I even go out here to throw any darts at this man. Because just like you hear, just like in the title of my YouTube channel is Tomorrow's Leaders. Tomorrow's leaders. Who's going to be the leader tomorrow? If you're not willing to stand up and do something in some capacity where you're going to bring something positive back, what are we doing? It's almost like insanity. We're doing the same thing over again, hoping for a different outcome, which is never going to happen. So that's why I said, guys, we got to be real mindful of a lot of things that's going on. But back to Leon's thing with the North Carolina A&T, yes, their recruiting is not top 10, but let's be real here. They've been recruiting their behinds off for the past 5 years for them to make that jump to the Big South. This wasn't something that they had just set out to do 2-3 years ago. This was like a 5-year plan that they put together in order for them to get to where they are now. So a lot of the black schools, yeah, they need to reconsider which direction they're looking to go and position the university, position the college a lot better. Financially, yeah, we got to support. Like you said, positive motivation, we got to support more with our HBCUs. We got to do it. We got to find ways how we can get out here, help these folks do the things that they need to do in order for them to propel these programs where they're looking to go. Like I said, it's a lot that's going on right now. Was that Imperial Nubia said, hold on, let me finish my statement. There's a lot going on right now where we have to get an understanding of where a lot of these HBCUs, where are they looking to go with these programs. Because like I said, there's a lot of infighting going on and backfighting as far as with, hey, this person don't know, blah, blah, blah. Man, no. Let's collectively sit down and get this thing moving. I think we can go somewhere with it. What you think about that positive motivation with Bree?
I think at the end of the day, like you were saying, we have to be able to come together. The number one thing for HBCU football, especially, is we have to come together and we have to be able to season to season make something happen. Right. You can't continue to have the same outcome every season.
Right.
You can't have 1 to 2 schools that every year dominate the SWAC championship or every year dominate the MEAC championship.
Right.
You can't have the same 1 to 2 schools, which in the case of the MEAC, that's going to be South Carolina State and Norfolk State at this point. Mm-hmm. That's going to be those 2 schools, and it's going to be Jackson State and Alabama A&M on the SWAC side. Alcorn can get there, but Alcorn has to do the exact same thing that every other school in the SWAC has to do, and that's recruit. You got to bring these boys down here, get them in the classroom, get them academically sound, get them on the field sound, right, and be able to week go out here and compete.
Right.
Because you can't have athletically sound players and then run into when football season comes around, when those 2 days in the fall starts to come around, you got academic issues. You got you got your 5-star on the bench because they're not academically sound in the classroom. And you have to drop down and put your number 2 in. Right. There should be no reason why academically and athletically these schools are not sound.
Right.
That's what it comes down to: recruiting, academics, and athletics. If those 3 don't come together as a package, eventually you're going to start to see the exact same thing happen within the SWAC, the MEAC, all across D1, D2. You'll start to see that. It makes a difference. Where you start is where you end. And that's kind of how I look at it. It's fine to be trending and all of that. And your football players are out here. They living it up, having fun, and all of that. That's what college is all about. But at the same time, you have to be able to get to the books, get to the field, and do what you got to do. Gotcha. That's just what it's all about.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I think we got some more folks who want to come on and have a little conversation with me, all right? I appreciate you.
Y'all have a good night.
Indeed. Thank you.
All right, y'all are welcome.
All right. All right, guys. Hey, listen, what we got going on? Here it is right here. Hold on. Let me show the comment. All right. So the question was, so many questions, where's the money going with all the schools playing in the classics? This is what is preventing them from going to the FCS playoffs. Well, not only the classics, guys. You got to remember, I think it was, I got to give the OGs their credit as well. Who was HBCU Game Day. They did a video the other day where they were talking about folks was complaining about the FCS schools and the misconceptions that's going on out there. And what a lot of people don't understand, the fact that when you have all of these different classics that are going on, like you got the Bayou Classic that happened this weekend, you got the Turkey Bowl Day Classic that went on Thursday, and then you have and then you got the Celebration Bowl that's getting ready to happen next week. We already know daggone well those teams that's going to play in those bowls, they're not going to break away from that to go play in the FCS championship because those things have already been set in stone for years. It's so much that goes into that. For instance, use the Bayou Classic, for instance. Bayou Classic, the city of New Orleans, they're looking for that money to come there, if you get what I'm saying. So with that being said, daggone well, they're going to lose a ton of money if you pull the Bayou Classic from the city of New Orleans the weekend in which the first round of the FCS playoffs start. You already know they're going to lose money. So that's not going to happen. They're going to make sure that the city of New Orleans is taken care of, especially with both of those schools being from the state of Louisiana. They're not going to change that. So they're right there. You already see Grambling and Southern. They would, if they were available to play, they wouldn't be able to play because they got the Bayou Classic. Now from the Turkey Day Classic, that might be another one. Matter of fact, who was at Prairie View, like Youth Prairie View in Mississippi Valley? Those teams probably wouldn't have been able to play because they got a game scheduled that weekend, and the SWAC championship had not started with Prairie View ready to play in the SWAC championship. So that removes them. Like I said, there's a lot of different things that's really keeping more teams from being involved with playing. But like I said, and like people are saying, hold on, I want to make sure I get to this. Chief Kitchewawa said you have to have a change. You have to change the mindset of the parents. They have to educate the kids on the importance of going to HBCU. You're absolutely correct. K. Lofton, he said, I hate them damn classics. Those games are played in cities that don't have a SWAC school. But you got to understand, though, K. Lofton, the state itself has have two schools that are in the state that's pushing money back into the city. So that's why a lot of these guys are like, yo, we're going to go ahead. We're going to continue to keep doing what we're doing, and we move the needle. Now, I'm going to throw this one out there for you. And I mean, some folks might get offended, but I'm just thinking outside. I'm just thinking outside the norm. So don't get upset with me when I make this comment. What if that first game of the season was considered some type of classic in somebody's city where more money could be made? I mean, think about it. 7,500 people at Strawberry Stadium. No disrespect to Southeastern Louisiana Stadium, but just think if you could have saw that FAMU game played in a 50, 60,000 seated stadium where people could have really came in there and had a good time. The money that would have been generated from that. I'm just saying. I mean, it's people. I mean, everybody's looking at the financial end of it. I mean, it's kind of like, excuse me. Had to clear my throat again, guys. I'm starting to get a lot better, and this mess is finally coming up, but I apologize for my raspiness. But think about this. Remember when LeBron James was when he's playing for Cleveland, and how much money downtown Cleveland made based off of the draw of LeBron James playing home games in Cleveland. And then when he left and went to Miami. And then think about when he came back, how it picked up again, he left and went to Los Angeles. That's what we're talking about here, where we have to find something different that can be done that's going to bring a draw of people that want to come in and see exactly what's going on, what's being offered. I mean, the classics, those classics, those are games that's going to bring the money to these universities. I mean, I'm sorry, guy, but it's just no way around it. I mean, it's going to bring the finances to those universities because they depend on that. That's in their budgets. I mean, if anybody got any ideas on where else they can pull, where else they can make that money up from, I'm more than open to hear about it because that's just where it's at. I mean, this is what we got going on. I mean, this is how things have been done for so long, and I know change has to come in some aspect, but to which point do we, start wanting to just start chopping off stuff for the sake of saying, hey, this is what we need to do? Hold on. Nick said, well, the SWAC has to stop talking about Tennessee State, North Carolina A&T, and Hampton playing big white conferences and not winning. The OVC, the Ohio Valley Conference, and the Big South has better teams. I don't disagree with that. I think, Nick, I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's more so people in general that make those for commentary wise want to have those type of conversations about those schools as far as who they're playing outside of the fact that they're not playing SWAC and MEAC schools. I mean, we all get a wild hair up our behinds, when somebody decide they're going to do something different that we may not like and say, hey, well, look at them. They're over there getting their heads beat in. They should have just stayed over here with the SWAC and the MEAC and they've been fine. But you don't understand the reason why they did what they did. They made that decision from a financial standpoint. That's why I said North Carolina A&T, they were taking the monies that they was getting from the Celebration Bowl and the other things that they were doing, and they was putting that back into their facilities. Now they have top-notch, well, I'm not going to say top-notch, but they have some better facilities than a lot of the HBCU schools out there in which they're able to now attract the players to come in and want to become a part of their programs. And that's what it's all about. A lot of folks, they look at and say, hey, man, what are we going to do? I'm like, we got to do something. We got to do something. We can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. Hold on, I'm trying to get to some of these comments. Do you think HBCU football could get back to what it was when it was a pipeline for the NFL talent? It was funding back then. It was a conscious choice. I believe it will. This is ready to happen. Why I say it's ready to happen? Look at the transfer portal. Listen, Coach Simmons got a video up, and I don't know if he released it yet, but it's about to be a big problem get ready to happen in Texas. And you're going to see a whole bunch of players get ready to go to HBCU schools. And I'm not talking about these 2 or 3 star players, and there's nothing wrong with stars. I'm going to say this once again. I've always been one that if your talent jumps out on the film, I believe in what your ability is and you fit in the right scheme, I believe you can get the job done. So I've never really been one that's been stuck on stars. But like I said, stars is only in the sky to me. But there's some great talent out here that have no stars that are playing in the NFL right now. And I'm just like, hey, let's make sure that we get everyone that want to become a part of what's happening, get them in position, man, and let's go ahead and move this thing forward. It makes no sense that, you got kids out here that's sitting in the daggone transfer portal for over a year. Why? Because they wanted to go to some Power 5 school to stand on the sideline and hold the damn chalkboard. Well, I mean, if you want to hold the chalkboard, cool. Hold the chalkboard. I ain't mad at you. But at the end of the day, don't get mad when you have no film and you say, man, screw this. I'm ready to go. I'm going somewhere else. Okay, where are you going? Because wherever you think you're ready to go, you're not going to be able to go there because you don't have no film. Basically, you're going to be walking on. So that's why I say we got to get back. We got to get back in the habit of making sure we do our due diligence when it comes down to recruiting as well. Understanding what these young men, and it's not even about the young women, because the young women are more so in tune as far as what they're looking to get into. They're not looking at, well, I think I want to go look at I want to look at this school, and then I want to go to that school tomorrow and go somewhere else. They want to transfer out because they can't get their way. They're more sitting down and making sound decisions. Our young men, they got to get back to doing that as well, making sound decisions that's beneficial for them, and then go to those schools and universities that they're looking to go to. Going because a coach is there, it's no guarantee that that coach is going to remain. So it makes no sense in putting yourself in that type of situation where that coach decides, hey, I'm gone. Now you stuck and you don't know what you're going to do. And then you got to come back and you got to try out all over again to see if you're going to get playing time with the next coach that's coming into the program, because there's no guarantee he's going to give you that playing time. So that's why I said we got to be real mindful of that as well. Hold on. Could no SWAC school beat Austin Peay, SEMO, UT Martin, and Tennessee State once Eddie gets his guys in place? Nick S., I believe Eddie George is going to need at least 2 to 3 recruiting periods. I think he's going to be fine once he gets everybody. You're right. Once he get everybody in place, he's going to be all right. And like I said, right now, the Ohio Valley Conference, you had Jacksonville State leave, and they went to, I forgot what the name of the new conference they went to, but Jacksonville State was giving folks the business over there. So UT Martin, they're excited right now because they the next thing smoking. So yeah, I believe once Eddie George and his coaching staff get everything together, I believe they're going to be fine. I believe they're going to be fine. Hold on, did I answer this one already? Yes, I did. Go up here. Kay Lofton said SWAC teams will beat the Big South and Ohio Valley Conference teams if they could play them at home. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they would. The games will be competitive. I still believe a lot of the SWAC schools, they got to get them offensive lines together. Like I said, that is a necessity. I'm gonna be real with you. We all want to see our schools do great things. But like I said, I got to be a realist, especially with me being on the sideline coaching. A lot of stuff that I saw this season leaves me a little worried. I think a lot of the coaches, they've seen some of the things and they pointed it out themselves. Because it was funny how I have been talking about the offensive line like all season when it came to Jackson State. And Coach Prime made a comment. He said, yeah, we know we got to get the offensive line together. So it's not, it could be noise in some instances as far as you thinking that these coaches don't hear a lot of the things that's being said. They got ears. They have people that listen to a lot of the commentary that some of us put out there. And they're more aware of themselves without even having to listen to us that, yeah, we do need to go ahead and fix this issue. But I really believe the offensive line and getting that depth, they need to have depth. A lot of these programs, they had depth at positions that they can really get out there and go compete, i.e., Alabama, University of Alabama. They got depth at every position. If a man go down, that's 6'6" on that offensive line, 325 pounds, guess what? They got somebody coming in there, it might be 6'8", 350 pounds. It can move just like that last guy that just got hurt. Or, you know, I mean, it like I said, it doesn't matter. It's always next man up, but that's the type of talent that they're recruiting. And that's the type of thing, that's where the SWAC teams got to go to now. It's no longer, hey, man, okay, we're going to bring this guy here. He's going to be a good fit, and he come out there, and he's not really doing what needs to be done. But because you don't have anywhere else to go, you stuck with that. No, these coaches are getting out of that now. So if you're not looking to come in here and really contribute and do all of the things that you need to do to make sure that you're helping the team go as well as grow, guess what? You got to go. It's gonna be real. It's gonna be real simple. Y'all gonna trust me. You're gonna see a lot of guys out here that's gonna be real upset. Hold on, we got another machine going on. It's gonna be funny when you're gonna see a lot of guys out here that's gonna be upset at the fact that these daggone teams, they ain't gonna play the radio with them no more. They're gonna start telling them, hey, we don't even want we don't want the racket over here no more. You can go ahead and go. You can pack your bags and get up out of here. That's how serious it's getting now out here. People are wanting to compete. I'm like, you know, Michael Day, what you talking about? Like we care. You crazy, dude. Exactly. DJ, you're absolutely correct. Cleveland lost billions once LeBron left. You're absolutely correct. Positive motivations with Bree. You know what? The money is going back to the schools, but I think a lot of that money is being placed into other sports. Why I say that? For instance, remember the Big Ten, that was it, the Big Ten, the Pac-12, no, Big Ten, the Big 12, the ACC, a lot of those Power 5 conferences, they were cutting programs when COVID hit. The reason why they were cutting programs when COVID hit because there was no football being played. Football pays for a lot of these other programs, a lot of these other sporting events, these sporting programs to keep going. That's how the money is ran. So I'm like you. I want to, hey, how much of this money are you guys really putting back into the football program that's bringing the money into the university? I mean, yes, I'm like many of you where I wonder that sometimes and would love to sit down and ask that question like, hey, what's going on here? Let's really understand what's going on. Leon, what you got going? He said, I mean, Eddie Robson used to chalk the field himself and pretty much ran the program by himself and put money in the NFL. It has to be a collective effort. You're absolutely correct. That's what I say. If we're not willing to get things in order, what do you expect? I mean, like I said, we have to hold ourselves accountable. We're not holding ourselves accountable. Like I said, yeah, everybody wants entertainment, want to have a good time, and want to, say, hey, man, the game was great. The pageantry was phenomenal. This, that, whatever was phenomenal. I'm like, come on, guys, let's be real here. We got to get back into the mindset of understanding this is what's going on with our HBCU schools. I mean, yes, the game last night showed a lot of different things from the standpoint of, okay, great. salute the FAMU, Coach Willie Simmons, Coach Black, and the rest of the coaching staff, and all of the football players over there. And FAMU Rattler Nation, congratulations to you all out there for making it to the FCS playoffs. But now, what do we do next? The next thing we got to do is we got to get out here and recruit. We got to recruit. And I'm willing to bet you right now, those coaches are probably looking at that transfer portal on who they're looking to bring in next, especially at marquee positions, because they already know there's going to be some holes there within the defense as well as the offense, as far as with players leaving going on to, because due to no eligibility left. And what else do you expect them to do? You're not expecting them to stay the same. And those players that they're looking to bring into the fold based on coming out of high school, if you're not ready to come in and play right now, guess what? It ain't going to work. And the best advice I have for anybody out there that's not playing right now, that's on a college level, please make sure you go get your trainer. Go get your positional trainer. Get your speed agility while you're on your vacation. Make sure you're doing all of the things that you need to do. Work on your craft. Go back and look at your film and seriously critique yourself on how well you did or didn't do in certain instances. You know what you need to work on. Get your tail out there and make it happen. So like I said, just like I said, us the fans, it's the players as well. It's time you got to step it up. Everybody got to step it up. We all got to step it up. And that's just being real with it. Okay, they got that going on. Hold on, let me see. We got something else. All right, here you go right here. This is what Coach, if y'all haven't checked in with Coach Simmons, please do Coach a huge favor. Make sure y'all go over there and check him out as well. He's talking about the week 0 bowl games. That's something that he's been talking about for a minute here. And he's actually been trying to reach out to some folks and have conversations about that as well. So please check him out over there on his channel also. Phenomenal guy. He's putting out some great content. So you guys, like I said, check him out as well. Also, guys, if we haven't done so already over here, please make sure we like, comment, and just share. Oh my God, I'm mixing share over here. Excuse, Coach. Hey, that's just funny for me, guys. That's all. Tongue twisted. Hey, make sure you guys go ahead, comment, share, and like the videos as well, man, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all you guys, man. It's 79 of us in here right now. Boy, I appreciate you guys. But yeah, let's get them likes up. Let's get them likes up, guys. Hold on, let me see something here. Hold on. I'm gonna get to you in 1 second. I'm gonna get to you 1 second, Dexter Oliver. Boy, that S, boy, I'm twisting that S up like crazy today. HBCU at its power with FAMU and JSU at top of its game, like big OSU and hey, how about them damn Wolverines, man? That's what I'm talking about. The Michigan Wolverines kicked in yesterday. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I was not drinking Coach Khaki Kool-Aid. I wasn't drinking the hardball Kool-Aid, man. I've been a Michigan fan since I was a young jit. I told my mom yesterday, I said, hey, Mom, you got out all the Go Blue stuff around the house, right? Because that's originally where I'm from, Detroit, Michigan. So I make sure when all of my cousins come by and they get to talking that trash, I want them to see all the Michigan stuff around the house just to piss them off. That's how petty I get with it over there. Because I'm like, look, y'all give me the business all year long. I know they're going to talk their trash about, well, Michigan State beat y'all this year. Okay, but Michigan is ranked number 2 in the country, so I'll take that over us losing to you guys anyway, so it's all well and good. But, yeah, and as you can tell, guys, I love the sport. That's just me. I love the sport, man. That's just me. That's what I do. But let's see. I believe that I believe HBCUs, I believe all of the coaches now are realizing that they need to get themselves back together collectively with their programs and get things in order so that they can build the programs up to become a bigger draw than what it currently is. I don't believe Coach Maynard over there at Alabama A&M, he's not sitting back idly by. I don't know who the coach is going to be over at Grambling or Southern just yet. So I really can't speak on them. I'm sure they'll go ahead and get those coaching vacancies taken care of this week, if not within the coming weeks, because you got recruiting that's getting ready to happen. Well, early recruiting, that is. And then also, too, excuse me, you got Coach Dancy over at Mississippi Valley. He's definitely recruiting, looking to get more players in to have that dog mentality that he has with the program, getting everything ready to rock and roll and do some phenomenal things over there as well. Who else we got? Coach. I'm about to say Gamble. He ain't over there. Coach Dooley over at Prairie View. He's definitely looking to continue to keep building. So you already know it. Coach Willie Simmons down there and FAMU. You know he's gonna put on, as well as none other than the Big Mac over there at Alcorn State. You know he's getting ready to go ahead and reload because Triggerman Felix Harper, he's gone. So the $1 million question is, who's going to become the next quarterback for Alcorn State University? That, like I said, there's a lot of questions out there that's got to be answered during this off season. Heck yeah, hey Wayne Trent, Wayne, yes, the transfer portal is still full. It's full like a McDonald's drive-through right now. That's how full it is. Matter of fact, if you got Waffle House in your city, it's full like Waffle House on a Saturday morning where you're just trying to get in there and get you a waffle or some sausage or some smothered and covered, however you like it. Yeah, it's full like that, brother. Trust me. It's crazy, man. You got what? You got a couple thousand kids that's in the transfer portal that have yet to even be picked up from last year. So that's what I'm saying. This thing is crazy, man. I mean, you listen, DJ, I agree. Some folks say it don't give them much to play for, but understand one thing: it's giving them enough for them to play and look at what's being offered. Think about the long game. The long game is the recruitment as well as looking to get these players to come into your programs and upgrading your facilities. That's what it's all about. These coaches are looking to get their names out there so that a lot of these kids that were considering going to these big name Power Five schools, they're considered to want to come to one of those schools that was in the playoffs. So I'm with you on that one. I'm like, it's a win-win in some instances to me. That's how I see it. Leon says, shoot, Coach Prime can see he has to do something about the O-line. Oh, exactly. Got to do something about it. Papa B 59, right on point, Coach. Offensive line at most SWAC schools need major upgrades. Exactly. I mean, it is what it is, bro. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When I first started looking at a lot of the SWAC games, I was sitting there saying to myself, like, okay, they have all of the utility players in the world to get out there and just run your behind to death. And it's kind of like, and I'm not, and I see this, I see a lot of this with coaching the youth, where they have the utility players that could just, they make one move and they gone. They up the field, you chasing behind them because they got the speed. And as they grow in age, the competition grows and they start to come back down to where now the competition and that speed that they once had is somewhat a little bit more even. But in a lot of instances with these college programs, heck no. They putting on making sure you understand rightfully that, hey, you better come in here with that work or you're going to find out the hard way. I'm going to put it to you like this. With a pop-up B59, with the offensive line and depth, they got to have depth on both sides of the ball. I think Jackson State, as well as any SWAC school, any HBCU school across the board, they will be able to make a serious run at anybody. And that's real. That's D1 or D2. And I've watched a lot of games this season. Trust me when I tell you. And I'm not talking about watching the clips. I'm talking about sitting here watching games. I'm talking about putting games on and just sitting there and just watching it like, hey, this is what's going on. Because a lot of things people don't understand. And I'm not saying as far as you guys, because you guys look at the game and say, okay, real time, boom, this is what's happening. But when a lot of these players are studying film, I tell the young men that I've coached that are now in high school, get ready to go to college, I've been ingrained in their heads that, hey, you have to watch that film 10 times. They're like, what you mean, coach? I said, you're watching the interior five, excuse me, not 10, 11, because you got to watch it one time for itself. You're watching the interior five for all the positions on the offensive line. And then you're watching the interior that's on the defensive line. So a lot of times folks is running 3-man front, 4-man front, where they got the they might have the ends there, and they're shade back the ends with like a corner or something like that, or outside linebacker, depending upon the schemes that they're running. And then you got to watch all of that to see how you're blocking, especially if you're offensive lineman. Those are the different things that you have to understand. It's no longer say, okay, I got the 1 technique here, or I got the 3 technique here. I got to block it. No, you got to understand where these folks is going at all times. And the one thing that I will say this, in which I've seen him do it because my oldest son was he was over at the program shortly. He didn't stay because he wanted to go back and play with his friends. But when Coach Prime had Truth football program here in Atlanta, Georgia, they had two different programs. They had one on the south side. They had one on the east side. They took them kids to the board. So you had kids in the classroom from 6 to 12 that went to the board and they asked them, say, okay, they put a play up and say, okay, here's the play. What is your position? What are you supposed to do on this play? And the kid would go up and say, all right, boom, I'll do this. Okay, now what if you see the defensive guy do this, what's your next objective as far as what you need to do against what they just did, if that man is lined up in front of you? So it kept those kids' minds always thinking as far as what they need to do out there on the field. And a lot of times that's what we have to do. We got to get back to teaching. And a lot of times teaching is not happening. You know why? Because when it comes to these players coming into these programs, if you're not already ready to go to be out there and play, guess what? You coming over here next to coach, hold my clipboard. I need you to hold the clipboard, son, because I can't put you out there right now because you don't understand what's going on. So that's where a lot of these folks get lost at. And a lot of these linemen are like that as well. So it is definitely time to get out there and teach. We got to do it. Peace, DJ. Hey, another young man that's up and coming, DJ's Raw Uncut Truth. Check that man out. He's putting out some phenomenal, positive information as well, guys. Check that man out as well if you haven't already tapped in. Phenomenal young man, man. I appreciate him. Hey, DJ, we got to talk soon, bro. I got some questions I got for you, all right? Appreciate you, man. Happy holidays to everybody out there as well. Dexter, you weren't supposed to ask me that question. I'm not divulging that information. That's Agent Orange B55 class 14 certified. I'm not telling that one. All I'm gonna tell you is this: if that one coach would have said yes, I promise you, y'all have been sitting here like, Coach, ain't nowhere in the world is going to happen. And I've been sitting here like, yes, it is. Yeah, yes, it is. Like I said, I honestly believe Alabama State. I think they're trying something new, and there's nothing wrong with trying something new. I want to see Coach Eddie Robinson Jr. do something with the program. Let's see what he can do. I mean, we've had coaches come in that's been able to do certain things here and there. Let's see what he can do. What more can he do? What more can be done that hasn't already been done? Let's find out. That's my thing. And another thing I think too, to get more coaches to come want to come in and coach. I know they're gonna get mad when I say this, but guys, we got to raise that pay a little bit. Y'all got to come on with that pay. I mean, come on, man. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. See, absolutely. Each and every one of you have a point with what you're saying, but the fundamentals still stand regardless. A collective effort has to be made with recruiting, scheduling, academics, and athletics. That's absolutely correct. We got to get it together. Because like I said, remember too, and I'm going to use this, and I know a lot of you might have been at HBCUs in the past, in which I know when I went to mine, it's over my shoulder, over my shoulder here. For me, it was like second chance you. I'm gonna be honest with you. Why I say that? Because my coach got on my behind. I had offers to go to school, but I was so busy trying to be the ladies' man, and I got checked. And my coach might be on here now watching this, but I had to get checked and get a reality check as far as, hey, dude, you need to get your schoolwork together and handle your business. I had one of those. I was one of them 2.4 kids in which I had 3.2. I had 3.2 potential. As far as in the classroom, it wasn't like I didn't know how to do my work. I was too busy trying to be the cute guy, trying to be funny, trying to get my Mac on, and it kind of cost me. But I learned my lesson from it. Definitely made sure my kids understood that later on in life, as well as the young men that I coach. I let them know we're not doing that. We're not moving that way. Coach Prime was right. Is the athlete really getting better if the team is playing bigger schools? No, you got to recruit. All money ain't good money. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. Space Age 3000. All money ain't good money. Thanks for the super chat. D1, I appreciate you, man. I didn't forget you. Thanks for the super chat, bro. Thank you. Okay, hold on. Let me find Coach Simmons for you, right? Hey, Coach Simmons, you in here? Post your link, bro. Let them know where you at. Where can they find you? Michael K. Martini. All right, baby. I'm all right. I'm coming. The missus is summoning me. I've got to get ready to go ahead and knock out the last couple of these. I'm gonna go ahead and knock out a couple more of these before I get out of here. What about Bethune? Woo, Michael Martini. Bethune gonna be nasty, baby. Hey, ooh, Michael, you got me in a spot. Why you put me in a spot, Michael? Ow! I'm gonna tell you this. It's gonna be nasty. This coaching search is gonna be crazy. That's all I'm gonna tell you. It's it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. I think some hot seat Monday's coming. That's all I'm gonna say. Excuse me, guys. Hot seat Monday is coming. I think we're gonna see some changes amongst the HBCU fronts. I think there's going to be a lot of changes with a lot of these coaches. Bethune got some great. They got some good stuff coming. The $1 million question is, will Coach Sims be there next year? And I'll be honest with you. I really want to get into the article that was put up about Bethune-Cookman. We do need to talk about that a little bit more because everything that happened with Bethune-Cookman this year, I would not put that on the coaches, the coaching staff, because remember, they didn't have access to the building, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of them, they did not have you said full like Popeye. They didn't have access to the building. And that's just real. They didn't have access. And a lot of them kids had to get out there and do a lot of stuff on their own. Lost the quarterback last South. Yeah. Yep, South Dakota State. I'm not saying that they don't matter. Oh, you talking to somebody else. I'm not even gonna touch that with ZM22 222. I'm gonna leave that one with y'all. All right. Guys, look here. I'm getting summons by the missus. We're gonna go ahead and pick this back up. I appreciate all y'all for rocking with Coach. And I take it you guys. Hey, please leave your comments below and let me know if y'all like having an interactive show as far as with me bringing you guys on to let you go ahead and speak your piece, give you, 2 minutes and 30 seconds for you to come on and have your conversation and say what you got to say. Because I know there's a lot of great comments in here. I agree with you on this one. Mr. Infinitive, somebody definitely need to go get Kevin Sumlin. I'm with you on that one 100%. I'm with you on that one 100%. They can't pile up on one team. You're right. Has a personality, successful in marketing, recruiting, and he's out here in the community getting at these kids. And that's what it's all about. If you don't have nobody that can go into the schools or go into the communities to get the kids, what can you expect? I'm just saying. Yeah, it's going to be nasty. It's going to be nasty out here in this field. But guys, leave the comments below. Let me know what y'all thought about the interactive live. We're going to do it again. I got to get out of here. I got an appointment that I got to keep or my head going to get cut off, guys. So I got the ugly looks already going right now. So listen, we're going to tap in again. I appreciate all of you guys for rocking with me. And remember, guys, be the one and lead.